My name is Nicolas. I'm a photographer. I take pictures all around the world. I don't just take snaps of everyday life. I collect stories, and with these stories, I create scenes like it was a theatre, with all that I can find. Pieces of wood, metal. It's like recycling in a way. I've been to Africa, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Madagascar, the United States too, Brazil, Bolivia, in many places all over the world. I've been to Ladakh twice already, this very special region in the far north of India, surrounded by the highest mountains in the world, the Himalayas to the south and the Karakoram to the north. This ancient Tibetan kingdom is now part of the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. The region has only officially been open to foreign travellers since 1974. I like the rocky feel of these highlands and the atmosphere in this predominantly Buddhist territory. Every time I visit, I discover the way this remote place has changed. This year, I decided to come and photograph the people taking part in 3 projects that try to reconcile Ladakh's ancestral culture with current development. I'm travelling with my assistant, Thomas, and we're accompanied by Sonam, our translator.
Petit.
5 years ago, we took some pictures. We went on a motorcycle trip. It was here, but I don't recognize it at all. It's changed so much.
It's there.
Yes, that's where it is. They've changed the house. The little path is there. Yes, it's there. The small platform over there. There was the harvest, with the Chortens behind. And that embodied the figure of modernity. And building works were underway in this house. We can clearly see there is the stupa, everything. Apart from that, trees and things have grown incredibly. What a shame is that we had a nice view of Chortens, but now with the yard, the fence and all that, it spoiled it a little. I discovered Leh, the capital of Ladakh, more than 10 years ago. Since then, its population has almost doubled, and the number of tourists too. With barely 40,000 inhabitants, Leh is still a small town, especially compared to other major capitals of India. So we've arrived in Leh and we're going to see Jigmet, a fair trade couturier who works with nomads. So he'll be able to guide us to meet the people who live on these plateaus. Hello.
Sibylle, most welcome.
I'm Nicolas. Delighted.
Nice pleasure meeting you. Please come inside.
So, are you trying to keep the traditional design and preserve all that know-how?
Exactly. So our main purpose is to really, revive and, do a conservation work, simultaneously do an innovative product and do a business out of it. So all those fabric you find here is a Ladakhi textile only. I studied fashion. My wife is again a fashion designer. So we spend almost a decade in an industry, understanding how fashion really works. So my wife was designer for Reebok. I was doing for some multinational companies for the last 10 years. So in 2010, we thought of just coming back, exploring our own, territory, which is unexplored so far. We have finest wool in the world, cashmere, Kulu, yak wool, and all. That was untouched territory. We, keeps on collecting pieces so that people can also study. We can also study.
So you create a collection with old fabrics and designs. You collect wool from all over Ladakh, and afterwards you revive all of that in your designs. So I have to find an idea for my photo that's related to that. We're going to Changtang. There's nothing there, so we have to take everything with us. Tents, sleeping bags, and those are Jigmet's fabrics there.
It looks like, like biggest expedition, in fact, exploring all Ladakh. We are going to Choklamsar. Choklamsar is a settlement like of all those nomadic people. Actually, some of them has got difficulty staying there in Changtang, so they are settled down here. The reason can be anything, like from education to health problem to anything,
Uncle Jigmet!
This is the house.
Uncle Jigmet! Where are the women?
They went to work.
So he is again, like from Changtang. He is one of our, like collector. He gets all the wools and everything. This is dyeing art now, because this is really paid very less. To make this textile, it takes at least week 10 days for the two people. If you go to a labor work, roadside work, construction work, you are paid in 10 days. You are paid 7,000. Two people, 14,000. So there's no way that you will sell it for 14,000 rupees. So that is what it is not practice. Now for me, why I'm just doing it, because, now I'm using it in a very nice way, in some, very innovative way that, it will come into luxury category. Then, you can always get a good price also.
And then you can keep the knowledge alive.
Exactly. So end result is knowledge is alive. They are getting fear, price. So art is practice. Otherwise, it's gonna die.
– 5,328 meters. It's the second highest road in the world.
You can see, there's army truck. We are having a little problem with China, so I think, that's what, securing all the border area.
We've arrived as they're getting their flocks in. It's 5:30. There's already a certain atmosphere with the night drawing in. I'm looking for places where we can take pictures.
See, beautiful, isn't it?
And there are some good yaks.
A good yak over here. This is, nunnery before. There used to be, lots of nuns. Now, I think there's just few nuns. That is what local guy, he was telling me that. This is all nunnery.
It's a magical place. We could sit up here for the photo, but I think we'll need to go step by step to get a nice composition. It could be beautiful, but it's going to be a long job. After our first night at 4,500 meters altitude, we wake up in the heart of this nomadic village. I really like the convent. It's just like a pasture, high mountain pasture. A house at the end of the world. And then you have all the flocks of yaks going down. I always have my book on Tibetan art. I copy the traditional patterns of tankas with the curves, the arches, and all that. The idea was to have 3 arches with a female figure. I think Jigmet brought a wedding coat. In fact, they transform all of this wool. Here we are at the very start, and here we are at the end. So from this sheared wool to the people wearing it. The fresco will also provide a rather surprising picture. I think it reflects the Himalayan spirit.
Dad, what is it called?
That's Ta.
What is Ta?
Ta is the pattern with 3 colors, orange, red, and white.
Okay, so when there are these 3 colors.
One interesting thing with this design is like every family has got their own one design. So that, you know, like if your blanket or your saddlebag is taken by somebody else, you can easily make it out that that's mine. Because you have got your own specific design for the family. So that's quite interesting actually. Yeah.
Hello. Do you do this to sell it or for yourself?
If we can get a good price, we sell it. Otherwise, we keep it for ourselves.
Why do people not live here anymore?
There's no school. We had one before, but the teacher is afraid to cross the pass in the fall. And even if we offer to give him horses, he doesn't want to stay. People ask us why we don't stay in the region, but there's no choice but to leave. If we do not send the children to school and they stay in the pastures, they will no longer be suitable for today's life.
So if you had a school, then you wouldn't have to leave, right?
No, of course not. We're still managing to get by with the cattle, but for the sake of the children, we have to leave.
Come to Les sometime and come see me. If you want, maybe I could sell your fabrics. I'll give you my phone number.
Here, we have to put some fabrics. We use a technique called dumplings that we use on marquees. So that the fabric doesn't tear, we put the stone inside and we stretch.
Here too?
Yes, the same. We'll see.
Toto. Toto. Toto.
Sister, have you always lived here? In summer as well as winter?
Before, we always stayed here. Nowadays, in winter, we go to Choklamsar. I've lived here since I was a child, since I was 13 years old. I would prefer to live here all the time, but nobody stays in winter. And the neighbors are a bit far. In winter, there's really a lot of snow. And it's very difficult to get around.
Thank you.
I'll make you some tea.
You want some tea?
Yes, please.
Okay. Olé.
Ce qui est marrant, c'est le contraste entre
It's the contrast between the simple life here, the nuns in these surroundings,
dans cet univers, quoi.
and us taking photos of Jigmet's costumes, which are the most beautiful Ladakhi costumes. It's really two different worlds, between the wedding dress of the girl who will be at the center of attention like an apparition, and those women who have renounced marriage to lead a simple life. There really is a very strong contrast.
Une apparition, c'est un contraste très très fort.
Why are the nomads going to live in the city?
Because it's difficult here. It snows a lot. But the well-being we have here is unique. There are many beautiful houses there, but there's not the same happiness as here. Here we have the animals, the lassi, the butter. There they do not have that. They must work as laborers and run after money all the time.
Stop. Yep, just here.
Here or there?
No, always at the back. It's a good job the structure is flexible. We just have to hope that it holds. You can feel the force of the wind getting up, and we're right in the way. It's like I'm making a boat. There, the sun is moving around, so I take photos as and when things happen because we have a very nice backlight. Suddenly the fabrics are transparent, so it's beautiful. On the other hand, there'll be a moment when a herd of yaks will arrive. When the yaks arrive, we'll be in the shade. Then we'll have to be mobile with the flashes. So there'll be 3 battery-powered flashes to light the yaks.
You can come here.
Aim for the nuns with the flashes. She must look at Dawa.
Look that way.
Call them. They're pretending to walk. They're swaying. It's so cool. Go ahead, more. They're really beautiful. It's going to be very, very beautiful. The yaks must stay in there. From here to there. You put both there like that. That's good. Don't frighten them, Tom. Leave them some space. Thomas, get back.
Quickly, quickly.
No, Sonam, no. Come back up.
Go back up. Go back. That way, there. Go on.
This way.
Like this.
Married?
This particular costume is from this region and Azanskar region. No? They're very specialized with tie-dyes and everything. No?
I had to take my shots in several stages. I photographed the landscape at the end of the day, then the nuns, then the yaks, And finally, the models, dressed by Jigmet. The assembly of all these photos compose my final image. We leave the highlands of Changtang to return to the SECMOL school campus about 10 kilometers from Leh. It's an alternative school whose buildings were built by the students, mixing traditional know-how and innovative technologies. I'm going to propose a workshop to the students so that we create a photo together.
Julie. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
You're working on this one?
Yes.
Are you going to use it to heat something? For cooking?
For tea and food.
It's a solar cooker.
With the reflection, you'll be able to heat the tea.
Hot tea.
It goes inside and it heats the pot.
Are you students in this school?
Yes.
We learn how to use solar energy here.
On this campus, we find inspiration, but first it takes perspiration.
I've only been here 10 minutes and I'm already working. We're going to make a small, giant solar panel. It's a magnificent installation with mirrors. It's like the Museum of Modern Art. I think it's very beautiful. Hello, hello.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Nicolas.
Nice to meet you.
So here
I'm going to show you some of the work I've already done in different countries.
country.
Okay. There were lots of.
In Ladakh, there was a very high failure rate on the national high school exam.
We
had to learn by heart, without understanding. Above all, what was taught was not relevant for Ladakh.
And you were taught about.
We learned about how to grow rice,
You have the rain.
the monsoon season,
But here we depend on the glacial meltwater.
but here we depend on the water that comes from the melting ice. So that wasn't right.
That's the big barrier again.
And in addition, the language was an important barrier.
Language back then.
The teaching was in Urdu. It's a national language, but
Neither Ladakhi speak
there was no Ladakhi, Kashmiri, or Dogari.
Dogri.
Also, when we make the tour of the
When we go around the school, we can see that you're very innovative here with modern skills.
knowledge,
We know the demerit
We know of the problems of development,
and merit
but also of the advantages of this modernity.
and the development.
We must accept these things which are useful and find a middle ground.
Middle path also.
so it's a very
It's a great project.
It's just training.
you know
Have you heard of Robin Hood?
it's a Ladakh
Is this a Ladakhi tradition, archery?
classic. Yeah. Arrow. Moi, je m'appelle Nicolas.
My name is Nicolas, and you?
My name is Kessa. Delighted.
Salut. Me, I am an artist
I'm a French artist.
from France.
My name is Nicolas.
I am a photographer.
I'm a photographer,
So, I can,
and you can look at these
Did you understand what he said? Each of his photos tells a story. He travels everywhere. He listens to people and brings their stories to life. For example, in our school, SECMOL, we also have many stories about the environment or changes in the world. So he wants to find a story about us, an idea that can be turned into a photo. What would you like to suggest?
You can draw a picture to show it to us. And you have to imagine that we're going to create your idea on a large scale. Excuse me. Hello? Hello? Who wants to start?
Me, I would like to transmit to others in the world the three values that one learns in SECMOL. One needs an intelligent head, a good heart, and skillful hands.
So it's like that. The heart, the brain, and the hands.
This is SECMOL. That's the north of Ladakh, east, south, and west.
So every Ladakhi student.
All Ladakhi students are very thirsty for education, so they look for a place like SECMOL. And in the end, they reach SECMOL and they find the true value of education. That's my story. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What is interesting is the idea of birds, like the young people who are here from all over Ladakh. We could imagine a great map with everyone coming from different places.
From different places. Super, on peut l'applaudir.
Yeah, this is village.
That's a village from the old days. There are many animals, nature, birds, clean water. And today, with modernity, there is a lot of technology, and old things are lost. Modernity eats up the past.
So modern times are like a big dragon.
Yes.
And it eats up the past.
Yes, he's eating the past.
Show me.
Super.
So, you're afraid of the dragon?
Yes.
It's a very nice idea. I like it a lot. Basically, they all pretty much have the same problem. They want to fight against the standardization of the world. And in their culture, their history, their traditions, their landscape, their architecture. In fact, this school tries to teach them that and to come together and evolve with these notions. So it's an enlightened modernity that they're trying to create. So we'll be able to make this big monster. We'll build the monster that symbolizes the bad aspects of modernity for the students of the school. So we go to Leh to buy some fabrics and some materials for building the decor.
Everything is closed.
Oh, is it?
Let's see why.
What's going on? What did the lady tell you?
Apparently, there's a Buddhist girl who seems to have left with a Muslim.
So everyone is closed.
And it's a kind of a demonstration to find the girl.
D'accord. La communauté.
The community doesn't agree with this, so they want to show that they don't agree.
Pas d'accord.
I heard that it may be closed for five days.
I'll never be able to buy my ropes and screws.
Si on ira sur Nonira.
So we'll go to Nimu. We'll go to the countryside.
On ira à la campagne.
Now we're in Nimu. There's not much here. As in Leh, everything is closed. Maybe we'll find something, but at first glance, there's nothing.
On va voir. Tu l'es?
Oui,
C'est
tu peux
monastique.
essayer si vous parlez.
Do we need prayer flags?
Do you want to take prayer flags?
Si tu veux, hein.
If you want.
Faut prendre un peu de drapeau.
They're always useful.
De toute façon, ça sert toujours un
A little flag here, a little prayer there.
So
We can start with that.
Those in group 1, come here.
We'll need more stuff like that to make a bigger face, because I think that's just the size of the mouth.
Ici, ça va être le théâtre.
Here is where we're setting the scene, and so we're threading these through the tree to hoist the monster into the air.
Pour après monter le monstre dans les airs. Et du coup, lui, il
So I asked them to go for a ladder,
demandé d'aller chercher
and he climbed straight up.
direct.
Here is the eye of the monster.
Part here.
That part will go there.
We are going to wake up the monster now.
Wait. Be careful with the head.
It's too heavy, it's too heavy. The head is too heavy.
Head is too heavy.
Vas-y, go.
Look at his beard and moustache.
Did you do it?
Yes.
It's so funny.
Bah là, on fait,
We're making a frame
on fait un cadre.
so that it really looks like a painting.
En fait,
In fact, it's like the traditional tankers,
une
a
forme
shape in the
au centre,
center,
et après,
and then stuff all around.
somme. Et du coup, là,
So I take up this pattern and make it up with some pollutants to emphasize the idea of the coming of modernity.
monstre moderne qui arrive. Et puis,
And then there is going to be a bit more traditional to have the duality.
avoir la dualité. On y va? Ouais, voilà. Yes, okay. So,
I want to see both your hands, okay? I want to see your hands, both of them, and I want to see them in the photo.
Et je pense que ça va être bien. Elle est belle, la composition.
I think it's going to be good. The composition is beautiful.
Et puis, on fait la
We'll center it, and then we'll do the light at the same time.
Regardez.
The heart, higher, higher.
La
The hand is too high. Lower,
plus bas.
lower.
Voilà. OK, 1, 2, 3, yeah!
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
1, 2, 3.
Don't move.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, they look good.
Ouais, je les aime bien. OK. Here,
Here you can see a picture, but on this one there's no light. Here it's overexposed. So I'm going to put several pictures together.
OK. Bah, c'est cool, mais moi j'aime
I like it very much.
j'aime bien.
I like this image because it's their story.
C'est leur
At the same time, it's very crude. It's like naive art.
Très naïf.
It's built as they build here.
Ici aussi, on
Images with shapes, with dualities,
avec des dualités,
characters,
des personnages.
and a very dramatic aspect.
Très dramatique en fait.
Like here with the students who draw the arrows with the heart, the head, and the hand. They face the threat of the monster of modernity. On the road to my next destination, Mato, I stop at the Thiksay monastery. Tibetan Buddhism is the main religion of the region, unlike the rest of India, which is mainly Hindu. It's the foundation of Ladakh culture and permeates everyday life.
Ça, c'est
It's Om Mani Padme Hum.
c'est le mantra
It's their main
principal,
matcha,
c'est
which you
super
find in all their prayer wheels.
important. Et à l'intérieur des stupas,
Inside the stupas, they fill it up with pages and pages of the mantra
milliers des milliers
Om Mani Padme Hum, thousands of times.
Padméum écrit dessus. Du coup, tout le chemin en fait qui va mener
So the whole route up to the temple will be totally strewn with these hundreds and thousands of mantras. We're going to a monastery, the monastery of Mato, which is very big. And there's a team of women who take care of the restoration of old paintings. These women work alongside the 30 or so monks who live here all year long. Visit of restoration workshop. There it is. Let's take a look. Oh, wow. It's so beautiful. Oh, here's a big hat.
That one is not finished.
Is that another lama?
Yes, a Sakya master.
And don't touch the tanka with this. You see?
I have 17 people in the workshop. 17 women from the village who are divided among the different parts of the workshop. I have taught them how to restore works of art. It's a job they like, especially because it's a positive thing to take care of the works of art of a monastery.
The piece they're working on right now is a scroll, ancient Himalayan Tibetan scroll painting called the Tanka. In 2009, Nelly was restoring 14th century wall paintings in my village in Mustang. Evening after work, I was volunteering with her restoration. And then, a Rinpoche from this monastery, and he said, oh, please come to Ladakh someday, because we also have a monastery, and we have a lot of ancient collection, but they are going through a lot of damage, and we don't know how to repair them. So in 2010, we came here. We asked the villagers for help, that we need a workforce, and we told them that we want to work with women, because we think women need more the opportunity here, So the villagers made a list of these ladies,
Okay.
who are doing amazing. They're mostly farmers, and they're now doing quite a good job restoring.
This part is really beautiful.
That's true, because
We have this incredible landscape.
this crazy landscape.
And then We could do something modern with characters, something a bit different.
Oh, sorry. Look, we restored all of these. For example, this guy is new. This entire head was not there. This guy is also new. Mostly clay composition, but inside there's a fabric, you know.
I think it's lovely to play without perspective. I really like that fresco. As the perspective is broken, the lake is a blue circle. In fact, we have the whole monastery.
If we was doing a big painting like that,
if we created a big mural like that, here we could put some of your work with the thankers. We could make a lake with blue fabrics.
I have also some stuff. Technically,
I've got some stuff. So to do this technically, I need something where I can put the camera up high. I can manage with a step ladder and make a system for the camera, but the floor must be very big if I want to do it. Because here, it'll be the size of a person, and here there'll be a thanker, and another thanker, and we could make a very big composition. It's a bit small here. Small.
Because
Where else is...
I'm just going to do a test. That would be great just here. Okay. That would be great. That would be really good because we could have the composition here. We have the water with the lake, and around it we'll add the mountains, the villages, with the sky moving this way. Here we'll have this a little lower down. Go on, a bit more.
Ouais, okay.
These are the protectors of the temple.
These two are the protector gods, and this is a protector goddess. So the Palden Lamo, called Palden Lamo, who is the protector of this monastery.
Can we use them for the photo? If they do something that is not appropriate, we will tell them. Don't worry.
Yeah, Gilla says you can use it.
Thank you.
When you put them in like a set of 3.
Okay, together, and they must be in heaven.
Yeah, not on the feet.
It's like Buddhists. Do you like it?
That's all the Himalayas, the Himalaya range.
Oui. Oui. This Thanka is very local to this monastery.
Okay.
No other monastery in Ladakh will keep a Thanka like this.
Okay.
Because it belongs to Sakya.
So it's good. It's like a.
So it's like the signature of the monastery.
And look, it was like this before.
Oh, it's incredible.
All the watermark everywhere. It just now it has really come up.
Ah, great.
It's good because it has totally been restored, you know. And I will pass you both of these. And you will go slowly. Yeah. Wait, I'm wait, huh?
I've asked 3 village women in charge of the restoration to pose for my photo, which will symbolize their work in the monastery.
We're going to get our outfits and our headdresses with the jewels for the photo. I'm going to make some tea. When there's a great master who comes, we wear this outfit. Or when there are important people, and during weddings, or even when we have parties among ourselves. First, we put the taro on like this, and then over the taro there is the parak. I'm working on the restoration of a Buddha. Some are quite damaged, so it's difficult and precise work. I'm very happy, because before I was only working in the kitchen and in the fields. We also work in the village when they really need us. And after, we go back to the monastery. But to do all of that, we really have to get up very early. Where's Dad?
I don't know, darling. I wasn't here.
I think that with us, it's a mix between modern and traditional. Today, we use machines to facilitate the work. Before, we only used yaks. They are still used, but in many families, people go to the office, and there's a lack of manpower, so they have no other option but to use the machines. That's why I think we're in a society that's in between, both modern and traditional. Hello, Tinley. Come and sit here. Here's some tea. Did you bring your shoes?
Yes, I brought the traditional shoes and the rest of the costume. It's in the car.
Oh, it's very beautiful. Is this your traditional outfit? It's wild. Unbelievable. There are the jewels, the stones, the headdress. Ready to go for the photo? Are you coming? Is it in place?
Just lower your head.
Perfect. Very good.
He says it's fine. Don't move.
I'll stay like this, but you have to close the door.
It's very nice like that.
My headdress keeps falling. Oh, it's falling again.
Sonam.
Now, look at the camera.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
1, 2, 3.
Open your eyes, a big smile, and look at the camera.
Oh dear, I'm going to die. What are they doing to us? What do we look like?
It's really cool. The one that is closest to the door, can you tell her to really look at the camera?
Eyes wide open.
Oh, that's really beautiful. We'll add more light and we'll finish off with the computer. And we'll put several photos together, but it's good.
1, 2, 3. Boom, boom.
Come over. He's going to show us a picture.
I wanted to feature these women in my photo. It's thanks to their work that all this ancient heritage will be saved. By preserving these traditions, it allows them both to have work and to emancipate themselves. Once again, it's a good way to strike a balance.
Look at my headdress.
It's funny, isn't it? As if we were flying. It's like the wind is pushing us from behind.
With Jigmet and his designs, the students of the SECMOL school, the restoration teams from the monastery of Mato, I experienced a Ladakh in flux that knows how to preserve the richness of its past to project itself towards the future. As Buddhist wisdom teaches, they take the middle path.